Ladies and gentlemen, it is officially leak season for Call of Duty because they are just flowing. They are coming from everywhere and there is a lot of them. The biggest one, the first one that we have, is actual gameplay that has come out of Modern Warfare 2. Yes, it looks like it was filmed on a potato. No, I can't show you, but I can tell you all about it, talk about what was in it, and discuss what we actually see. And on top of this, we also have a ton of information leaked regarding Warzone 2. How the gameplay is going to change, what the map is going to look like, POIs and various different locations around the map. There is a lot of leaks here. In the past few videos where we talked about Modern Warfare 2 leaks, we generally focused on like 4 individual things. This video is going to have a lot more than that. So make sure you pay attention because there's a lot here to break down. But before we do, I first have to tell you about today's video sponsor. So if you've been around the channel, you've heard about this sponsor, and that is of course Sizzle.gg. This is an awesome sponsor. If you do Twitch streams, if you do YouTube streams, you need to hear about this because it's going to save you a lot of time and a lot of money. Essentially what this is a website that you go to and it automatically clips your best moments and highlights from your stream and can put them into compilations, and with just a couple of clicks you can immediately upload them to Twitter or TikTok with just the click of a button. Now this works with games like Call of Duty Warzone, Apex Legends, Fortnite, League of Legends, Rainbow Six, FIFA 22. So whatever game you're playing, it can automatically clip these highlights, clip your best moments, and it saves you from hiring an editor, editing it yourself, taking all that time to upload it. It solves all of those problems. And with new filtering options, it automatically filters out things like kills, headshots, victories, so it's even easier to find the exact clips that you were looking for, and it once again saving you that time, saving you that money. So if you want to check it out, click the first link down below, go to sizzle.gg, get your highlights going, start creating content, and thank you sizzle.gg for sponsoring the video. So as per usual, when it comes to leaks, you have to take them with a grain of salt. When it comes to development, a lot of things change along the line, so sometimes some of the leaks that we hear may be actually built into a portion of the game, then get removed or never added whatsoever. So take everything that we are saying today with a grain of salt. For example, the first thing that we are looking at today is the leaked gameplay. Basically, it was like a short 15 to 16 second clip, and in it there was a character running up a hill. We get to see a couple of different guns, a couple of different weapons in specs, and then one little brief thing at the end. As far as this goes, it looks like it was filmed on a potato. Every single year when any of this gameplay leaks, literally every year, there's always this super grainy, horrible video that comes out that shows just a little bit of gameplay. I guess that is this for this year. Generally speaking, people want to hide their identity when leaking stuff, so that might be one of the reasons why they do it. But as far as in this clip, the character is walking up a hill and they inspect 2 weapons. The first looking like some sort of variant on an AK, very straightforward there, and then the second one looked similar to the PP-19 in Modern Warfare 2019. After this, the camera kind of zooms out a little bit and we get to see a character kind of with a shotgun on his back, and that's basically it. We didn't really get to see them shoot any weapons or anything like that. Now, based off of the leaks, they said that this build that we were seeing was from December or November of last year, so it's basically going to be a year since then when the game is actually released. As far as the weapon inspects go, they looked very similar to Modern Warfare 2019's. Nothing really spectacular, but again, it was an early build. And as far as the game actually looked, it looked like the Modern Warfare 2019 engine just built up and expanded on, which is exactly what we were expecting from this game. So from my point of view, from the minimal gameplay we saw there, all big thumbs up. So not a lot of in-depth details there, just kind of an overview. But when it comes to Warzone 2, this is when we get some deep details. So the main information that we have regarding Warzone 2 involves the map and POIs and then specific gameplay. So we're going to start off with the map. So the current rumor is that the map will take place in Medellin, Colombia. Now, as far as this goes, it would be a pretty straightforward kind of how this map would actually look. But apparently, based off of the leaks, there's various different diversity in the biomes, so it's not just a one-to-one recreation of that city from real life or anything along those lines. Now, what's interesting is we also got some leaks recently about DMZ. This is like the escape from Tarkov, extract yourself kind of mode, get loot, that kind of thing. Apparently, there's going to be 4 maps in there with diversity from really open world maps to really close and claustrophobic maps. However, there's also been leaks that the DMZ maps are also going to be the same as the Warzone 2 maps. So what you could assume is that they will take various different areas from the Warzone 2 map, create DMZ maps out of those, and that is how that crossover will actually take place. So that is kind of what we have for the overarching map of Warzone 2, but then we get into interesting things regarding POIs. So the first one that we heard about through leaks was the Observatory POI. Nothing too crazy with that one, but then they said that there's going to be at least 4 classic POIs from the original Modern Warfare 2. The first of which is, of course, High Rise, which is one of the most iconic and one of my favorite maps of all time. This is going to be known as Modern City. It's going to take place on top of a high-rise building, but it will not take place in the middle of the map like we saw with Downtown in Verdansk, to once again kind of improve the flow of the overall map. In the northwest corner of the map, Quarry from Modern Warfare 2 is going to return. Surprised we didn't see kind of a one-to-one creation of that in Verdansk, but they kind of had a quarry there. After this, we have Terminal. This is going to be in the southeast portion of the map. We kind of had something along those lines within Verdansk, but not the exact same thing. And then in the middle of the map, there's going to be a location known as Cave, which is going to be Afghan from Modern Warfare 2. It would also make sense for other areas like Favela to exist just based off of the location of the map. The one other thing I will say about the map taking place in Colombia, it will go alongside the leaks that we heard of the drug cartel being the main bad guy within the campaign, which is pretty cool. Now, after this, we also heard that rivers and trains will be returning. Now, rivers, we don't know to what extent, if it's going to be like the Caldera, where you can just kind of traverse through them, not really swimming, or if it's going to be like Blackout, where you could swim right through the rivers, you could use vehicles, things along those lines. We don't really know, but what we do know is that those two things will be returning. Now, let's move into the more so gameplay points. So this first one is the craziest one to me. That doesn't really make any sense based off of what we already know about Warzone 2, and that is Strongholds. So I first want to say all of these leaks are coming from Nero Cinemas, and he had someone insider reach out to him and explain all of this stuff, and you can always question that, is that person reputable giving the information? But then later, people like Tom Henderson stepped up and said, yeah, this is what I've seen as well. This is actually some pretty good leaks that are coming out here. So what Strongholds are zones around the map. There's about 25 to 30 of them, which is a ton, which contain AI combatants that you fight, and upon completing them, you can get loot like a loadout drop per se. Now, we don't know if that's the only way to get loadout drops on this map. I highly doubt it. I'm guessing buy zones are still returning. But the AI on the map is very strange to me, not to mention 25 to 30 points of these AIs being around the map. I don't know how that'll work, and it seems like that would in itself take up a very large portion of the map. It's an interesting idea, and of course you get more kills because of it, but does it work? I don't really know. That's something very, very new to Warzone. Now, on top of this, they also said that they're going to be introducing a bag system for looting. Now, the first thing upon hearing this is I think of Blackout and how you had to stop, pick up a bag, look in it, look through it. I don't like that, but based off of what we're hearing, I think it's more so you can pick up a bag and then carry more loot. So whether that's carrying more grenades, carrying more ammo, or even carrying a third weapon, I think those are all very viable options once this bag system is implemented. The thing that they did with Warzone 1, where you were always fighting, always ready to go, weapons dropped on the ground similar to Fortnite, you could pick them up very quickly, I think was a very good system. I don't see them removing that. After this, we have armor. So the current rumor with this one is that armor won't be able to be put on until you pick up an armor satchel. Similar again to what we saw in Blackout, where you could only have armor once you picked up a satchel. Now, I don't know how reputable that one is. I think the armor system that they have is pretty good. You can get armor easily. Unless armor satchels are very abundant, I don't see that actually working, but we'll have to wait and see. After this, we have pro perks. So pro perks were a thing back from old Call of Duty, is you could basically level up your perks, and once you leveled them up, you had the pro version of that perk and you had additional abilities with it. Now, that could work in tandem with the bag system. You could use your bag slots to create pro perks from your loadouts, so on and so forth. But I think that would be more so a thing that we saw within actual Modern Warfare 2 and not necessarily just within Warzone 2. So keep that in mind. We don't know how that would work yet. And finally, slide canceling. Apparently, slide canceling has been removed. Now, keep in mind, slide canceling is a bug. It's not something that was intended to be in a game, but people exploit it and pretty much everyone uses it, at least at high level play. With this, it would slow down the game, but it's also been rumored that the Modern Warfare 2 engine actually plays faster than the Modern Warfare 2019 engine. So with that implemented, it might make more sense why they would actually remove the slide canceling, and once again, leveling the playing field a little bit more between high-level players and your average casual player. But that is all of the information that we had. As I mentioned, this is probably the most amount of leaks that we've seen so far. For sure, the first big leaks that we've seen for Warzone 2. And as we talked about earlier, that gameplay for Modern Warfare 2. So at this point, I want to hear what you guys think. Let me know down in the comments. It's pretty interesting information. Some of the most information that we've got. So if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. And of course, if you want to stay up to date on everything, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you have notifications on. As always, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, peace out.
We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this to us.